Well, hey there. Welcome back. It is another quiet, cold morning. At roughly 15 degrees. So I'm hoping we can find a daily challenge that is warm. Perhaps sit in a campfire for 30 seconds. That'd be a good challenge. Maybe hold a handful of lamp oil and then set it alight. That would be another good challenge for me. Dip your toes into some warm pudding. Any sort of daily challenge that I would appreciate, really. Anything that takes place in the desert? Sure, yeah. We have been jumping over lately to the other side of the Rockstar world, over to GTA. Ever since we finished this streak here, we had a 28-day streak going. That now I assume is back to 0, yes. Which does mean that there's a new treasure map up for grabs. Is the only fun part about resetting your streak. So we could do it all over again now. At this point, we could begin again on day 1 of 28. Play with the band again. If I can find a train, we could jump to it, sure. And Fort Wallace, that might not be too difficult. Let's see where we are here. Where would the nearest train be? Quite far away from anything good or helpful. Fort Wallace, I believe, is... Well, now I'm not sure. I know there's a Wallace station up here. I can't recall where Fort Wallace would be unless it's this one. But maybe it's by Valentine. Fort Wallace, there we go. I could not recall. That is the one. So we could potentially go to, say, Wapiti or Valentine at the very least, once we hit Strawberry here. Just to cut a second off of it. But who knows? Good morning and yee-haw, and welcome. I've been rambling and did not look at the chat. Hello all. It's good to see you. I hope you're well. I hope you've dipped your toes in warm pudding. You may have missed that part of the introduction, and it doesn't make any sense to you at all, but there you go. Okay, Klaus, let's get out of here. We'll see what happens. We may fast travel, we may just enjoy the ride. What manner of animal be this? Raccoons. I get curious. Curious about the local raccoon population. Okay, so let's go down instead of up as it's telling us to do. Just in case we feel like hitting the Strawberry Fast Travel post. Happy Friday to you all, if you happen to be catching this on a Friday. I hope your weekend is all set and scheduled. Packed full of debauchery and various, dog treats. Whatever floats your boat, really. I'm not here to judge. You enjoy your dog treats. It's been a long week. It is very nice to be back in the simplicity of the olden days. I've been having far too much fun leading everyone around. Uh-oh. What do we have here? Get out of there, Klaus. Save yourself. Ah, looks like a bear, but it is running. So I don't need to worry. Come back and save me, Klaus. There's like two types of bears. There's the smaller black bears that typically run away if they see you. They don't want any trouble. They're just out looking for honey, etc. And then there's the very angry, revenant-style grizzly bears that as soon as they see you, you're as good as dead. You may as well be mincemeat at that point. So this was one of the nice bears. Just out looking for some honey. No big deal. Live and let live. It's a payday Friday. Woo! That's as excited as I can possibly get. I tried. I really did. I've long since lost my innocence, so it's difficult. I'm feeling a buzz of some sort. I wonder if it's in the Welcome Center. Oh, I'm hearing the sparklies. Why, thank you. It has been tolerable. I have made it through. It is very kind of you. Okay, now I'm not sure. It was louder out there. Maybe it's downstairs. We'll find it. Sneaky little thing. There we go. It's a card. Oh, that is certainly a form of trickery. Paying you on Monday, just to try to soften the blow of the fact that it's Monday.
Morning, sir.
Clever. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump out to, I guess Wapiti here. May as well. I'll make a brief trip down to Fort Wallace, and that will get us something. Maybe we can look for a train, or head back to the Moonshine Shack to polish the day off here. I will once again have to run far sooner than I would appreciate. But we'll see what can be done. There's turkey and deer and all manner of things. Actually a pretty good session. A better session for animals than I've seen in a while. I believe Rockstar did put out some sort of support ticket notification saying they were finally working on the seeming lack of animals lately. They're back near those beautiful Kotera Springs, the hot springs here, where the wolves like to hang out. It's one of my favorite spots in the game. Howdy, partner. Gotta throw out a good howdy. Good morning. And welcome, welcome. You're just in time for the fun. Or at least the beautiful horse hike. That counts as fun, right? Huh. That's interesting. I don't know if I've seen it notify me that there are new daily challenges in the middle of a session like that. I don't know if it's a glitch or if there are indeed new daily challenges. Let's take a moment. Still the same. Still visiting Fort Wallace. This must have just been a delayed, hey, they've refreshed for the day kind of thing. I'll try not to worry too much about it. So I do believe we just need to get across the river somehow here. We should effectively be there. It's bath time, Klaus. You've been a dirty boy. Dirty. Oh, that sounds like a fantastic combination. Twitch, tea, and Twix. No matter how you organize it, what a great time. Ta-da! Fort Wallace. Does appear to be manned. A manned and closed fort. That they would probably be a little upset of me for entering. But I'm not sure. There we go. Something to keep the streak up. So from here, where would be the nearest train? I don't know if they actually spawn at Bacchus Station. Good old Rachis Bacchus. But we'll check. I don't think I've ever actually seen a train spawn in at Bacchus Station. But maybe this will be the first. I do like this part of the world up near Cumberland Forest here. These sort of like birch or aspen. Must be aspen-looking trees. This is a lot like kind of where I grew up. Up in the mountains, big orchards of aspen all turning yellow in the fall. So this always kind of feels like home to me. Too much information. Oh my gosh, he's telling us about his childhood? Ah, unfollow. Unfollow. So this is a lovely station. Oh, and I feel a collectible. Nice. This is a lovely station because it has this great bridge and waterfall combo out here. I may have already shown it to you in a previous session, but it was a whole streak ago. I can't be expected to remember such things. So I love this spot. It's just gorgeous with these waterfalls and windy effects. It's one of the only bridges in the game that I know of, at least, that has like an underside you can get down off that ladder there. And there's a whole second bridge below. It's good for hiding out or making a last stand. Yeah, up here does have a very Colorado-y feel. I grew up in Texas for a while. I was born in Indiana, spent my early years in Texas, and then we moved back to Colorado, where everyone used to live, I suppose, before I came around. When I was like 8 or something like that, so most of my formative childhood running around in the foresty things were, oh, you know, Colorado-based. So I'm just hoping a train will come along. That's not typically a good plan. But hey, here we are. It can also be very, very difficult, because on days where there is a train-based challenge, folks of an outlawish nature or shall I say a-holes, like to take the train and just park it somewhere out of the way so that no other trains can spawn throughout the entire session. So you sometimes have to switch around and find a new session where trains are still running on days like these because of the aforementioned a-holes. Bit of a shame, but oh well. Hey, while we're waiting for a train, do you guys want to see another crazy mystery spot? On my magical crazy mystery tour? We're right next to a bit of a secret up here. This one relies, if you are interested, in a mural that is located on Window Rock, which is right over here. Window Rock has a hole in it, a window of sorts, as you might surmise, and there's a little path that kind of walks through it. You have to park up here near the tracks. You know, we may have time to go for both. Let's do that. Let's go for both. I'll go back across the bridge here so you can actually see it with your peepers. Get your peepers ready. It's time. I'll try to be quick. With my speedy hooves clippity-cloppeting across the tracks. So if you follow the railroad tracks up here above Window Rock to the north of it, you will be able to find a little path. Make sure I'm not going too far. Oh good, it is a bit. A couple of bridges away. Hello and welcome. I see you there trying to willfully sneak in. Oh goodness, you lived in Pueblo. I'm sending a fruit basket. And also to anyone who currently lives in Pueblo, I'm sending a fruit basket. I'm sorry you live there, guys. Also, if you happen to live anywhere near Greeley and have a sense of smell, I'm sorry for that. No, that's terrible. I'm sorry, Greeley. You guys are great. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. You're looking for kind of a big rock and then another rock sandwiching you in between the railroad tracks. After that little waterfall over there. Doodly doodly doodly, waterfall. There you go. After that, turn left, and you will find this little path. Spoiler alert. I believe this can only be done in single player, or at least the reward can only be retrieved in single player. So this is the Window Rock in question. A lovely natural, quote-unquote natural formation. And there's this little path that kind of skirts around, and then you can see this big mural. And there's a sort of like sound. It's partially the wind blowing through Window Rock, but it kind of sounds mysterious and spooky. It's your first clue that there may be something going on here. So there are all these strange symbols and hands and things. And I don't know if any of the rest of them are important. They very well may be. But what you're looking for if you want to do this little thing is just these eagles here. There's like a seeming picture of human figures standing around a bird, performing some form of a seedy ritual, I'm sure. And you may notice that all of these eagles have a different number of tail feathers. And so if you come along here, you may want to just write down or remember the number of tail feathers that all of these little white outlined eagles have there. And then you could create a sequence for yourself based off of those. So perhaps fewest to most, or however that would be. I forget exactly which direction it goes. But I do believe it's fewest to most. So you would start with like the 3 tail feathers, the 4, and move up from there. I'm trying to think if every figure has one. They must. Yeah, up there's the 2. So I'm guessing there just isn't a 1, unless I'm seeing this wrong. Or maybe one of these guys down here, one of these 2, that doesn't have golden eagle? Maybe the number 1. I don't recall. But anyway, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the tail feathers of these birds to tell you the sequence in single player of another mystery that is located back here. So now we have to ride back across the tracks. And once again, for reference, that is Window Rock right here, above Valentine. Just if you're curious. Yeah, hopefully this will make sense in a second once you see the other part to it. That makes very little sense at all. So far, and my apologies. Okay, let's pick up the pace here. So sorry. Tried to catch up to the chat. And poor Klaus is being neglected. But he's used to it by now. Let's be honest. So I really don't know how you would find this next thing. There is no seeming map location or direction to this that I have found. You simply have to stumble upon it. And if you stumble upon it, you then have to spend, I'd say 6 to 7 months thinking about it before you could ever put 2 and 2 together here. But somewhere just above Bacchus Station, I believe where another road intersects. Must be this one. Perhaps. If you go just a little bit off that road, we should find an outcropping of rocks. I believe this is the one, which is located right here below the eye in Amberino, near Donner Falls. And poor Klaus is going to have to wait outside in the rain. I'm sorry, boy. Here. Feed you to keep you warm. Start burning some of these carrot calories, my friend. And know that I love you. With a deep and enduring loyalty. Until they come out with a faster horse. No, he didn't hear that. So there is a small gap, a tiny little cave here in this grouping of rocks, hidden behind this large boulder. And inside, I bet you know what's waiting for us. It's statues. Statues with butts. Exactly what you were hoping for. So, the only thing you could pair these two together with is that there's the same number of human figures on that mural as there are statues here. And there is also a quote-unquote bird in the middle, a type of bird. And so all of these statues have a different number, you may notice, of fingers remaining. Fingers have been snapped off of the statues. So I believe he has 2. So he would be the first statue, unless we can find one with 1 finger, which may be the thing you have to figure out here rather than at the mural, because I didn't see one with 1 tail feather back at the mural. Pardon me as I count cheeks here. And then there's things like that guy is missing an arm, so you have to actually, guess or find it hidden around here somewhere. I forget. But anyway, they all have a different number of fingers, and then they all have this button you can press. And I believe once you press it in from one side, you can also press it in from the other. So if you make a mistake, you can undo it, essentially. So you have to press all of the buttons on the statues in the sequence from least to most fingers, or it's something like that. There may be a different pattern, like you have to jump around. I really can't recall. But this is just an interesting location, and so when you figure it out in single player, when you get the sequence correct, you press all the buttons. This little window here you may be able to see in the middle statue is closed in single player, and then it will open and allow you to retrieve gold bars from out of it. Small spoiler alert, small mystery that you can check out in your own time. I wish I remembered the exact sequence of fingers, but, oh well. Yeah, it'll be fine. You'll figure it out. So we never did find a train, but we did get one daily challenge. We visited Fort Wallace, at the very least. A poor, poor harpy. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm using the incorrect terms. I'm sure this would be more fun to watch if I didn't spend every 15 minutes getting distracted telling you about some massive conspiracy theory I possess. But this is what you get. You just get conspiracy theories and no gameplay whatsoever. Just me running around in circles on a horse. Oh, I'm still hoping for a train to pop in, but it's not going to cooperate. That's okay, though. Let us ask ourselves where we want to end up when we spawn back in next time. And then let us head this way. Just going to get slightly out of the cliffy, ridgy area here, back down into the plains of Emerald Ranch. And then I may have to leave you until next time, I regret to say. Hopefully next time we can do a bounty right off the bat, or something exciting. I haven't been doing many actual missions lately. I've just been wasting your time. But I've been having fun, and I'm very glad to have you along with me for the time-wasting amusement park ride. To keep us all from thinking about our own thoughts. And the slow march toward death that we're all being forced to endure here. But let's not think about that. Hey, look at the pretty horse. Look at the pretty lighting effects. Look at these leaves on the trees and the grasses. And, did I ever tell you about the alien conspiracies? That's my big plan. I hope it's working. I hope you're holding on. It's Friday. We'll get through this. And so with one final act of breaking and entering, to find whatever is buzzing my controller here now, we shall continue. It's a tarot card. I couldn't be more excited. Looks like there was a small army of, cats or rabbits following that man. I should have been looking, been paying more attention to the card. All right. Our breaking and entering complete. We will spawn back in here to the lovely plains of Emerald Ranch. Emerald Ranch, if I can actually speak. Next time. Thank you for your time. Sorry I can't devote more of mine to you. Hopefully soon. Hopefully this weekend. Get into some Dark Souls and some Witcher, perhaps. Maybe even the moral quandary of Covenant back on Fallout 4. We have decisions to make. People to kill. All right. From Klaus and myself, a lovely bye. And I will see you soon. Thank you for coming along with me.